And new tonight, only on 13 News Now, a deep dive into the intersection of gun access and public safety in Hampton Roads.
Alex Littlehales reports on the 5-year mark of Virginia's red flag laws, what they are, and how often law enforcement officers deploy them in the region.
An analysis of crime data across Hampton Roads shows just how often law enforcement agencies across the 7 cities and surrounding counties have confiscated weapons under Virginia's red flag law. In 2020, state lawmakers passed red flag legislation, and with it, the creation of emergency substantial risk orders. It allows law enforcement to stop someone from having, buying, or even transporting guns if they believe someone is at risk to themselves or others. In many cases, beginning as a mental health crisis.
I think if we're going to talk about public safety, these types of ordinances or laws allow us to err on the side of caution.
Through a public records request, 13 News Now obtained the number of red flag orders across Hampton Roads since the law took effect 5 years ago. Here's what we found. Hampton has overwhelmingly issued the highest number of red flag orders at 169 cases. It makes up almost half of all the red flag orders in the region since the law took effect. In York County, deputies have issued 25 red flag orders since 2020. Although a staunch defender of the Second Amendment, Sheriff Ron Montgomery called it an invaluable, proactive tool to preventing greater tragedy.
I think sometimes the difficulty is resolving the issue between public safety and the public's right under the Constitution as well. And it can tend to clash, and it brings out a lot of emotion in people.
In Virginia Beach, the region's largest city, it holds the second highest number of red flag orders at 58. The cities of Newport News, Chesapeake, and Norfolk all have over 30 registered risk orders.
It's not the government coming in just saying we want to take anyone's firearms from them. In fact, most law enforcement, if you know them, very pro Second Amendment.
Yeah. Detective Gino Jackson worked on a case in 2022 where a red flag order was obtained, saying it helped prevent a potential tragedy at a Portsmouth Walmart.
What's really interesting about that particular case was that it was a very short amount of time after the unfortunate incident that happened at the Chesapeake Walmart.
It remains the city's only use of a red flag law in 5 years.
That person made those threats against the Portsmouth Walmart, and that's what caused us to get the substantial risk order. Make sure that that person did not have access to those firearms.
Still, red flag orders may not guarantee a peaceful resolution in the end, such as the case of Dana Plummer, who in 2024 kidnapped his 3 children after stabbing their mother before leading police on a statewide chase. Court records obtained by 13 News Now reveal 5 months prior he surrendered several weapons to Virginia Beach police, including a hidden shotgun. Officers assessed that Plummer, quote, seemed to be going through a crisis, and although his weapons were removed that March, the abduction 5 months later ended in a crash with his 16-month-old daughter killed in the wreckage. Moving forward, Jackson hopes red flag orders become a more regular and frequently used tool for law enforcement.
I think that law enforcement can absolutely use it in a more proactive approach.
Reporting, Alex Littlehales for 13 News Now.